the Becky Thatcher, the Showboat Becky Thatcher, Mississippi 3. As you can see, it's submerged, and there were 3 decks, and it's moored there on Neville Island. It's River Salvage Company there, Neville Island, and I'm standing over here in across the river, Glenfield, PA, and that's Neville Island there. And that's the interstate bridge there, Interstate 79. And there's the Becky Thatcher. It's been here since October. The boat is the last of the Texas deck stern wheel paddle boats. It's kind of hard to see it, but that's it. It was built in 1927 by the Army Corps of Engineers. It was a survey boat. Went up and down the Mississippi River. It was built from an older boat, the Mississippi 2, which I think dates back to the late 1800s, but a new hull was put on it in 1927. And it was used by the Army Corps of Engineers up the rivers on the Mississippi, and probably the Ohio as well. Until 1961, it was retired, and then it went to Missouri, where it became a showboat restaurant. Well, it became a restaurant first, I think, and it was there until 1975. The people of Marietta, Ohio bought it, and it was in Marietta until October of 2009, when it was evicted from Marietta and brought here. And then we had a big snow, February 2010, and on February 19th, 2010, as it was moored here, they noticed that it started to take on water and started to sink, and it was 3 stories. You can only really see one. There's images in various newspapers of the other side where you can see it's bowed. I think more so on the other side it's bowed, probably because of the weight of the snow. And February 19th it started to take on water, and today is
24th.
Yeah, February 24th. And, there it is. But the Becky, we grew up in Marietta, Ohio, and the Becky was a restaurant, nice place to go, and I ate there several times as a kid, and later. They had good, I remember the Roy Rogers and Shirley Temple's drinks. And the owner, his last name is Levin. He lives in Tennessee. He bought it. He was gonna supposedly fix it up. He never got around to that. And he never did anything with it. And that's why in Marietta they evicted him. Then he brought it up here in October of 2009 to try to find a buyer for it, or somebody interested in buying it here in the Pittsburgh area, making it into a restaurant, showboat. And it's on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's been there since 1983. Last of the Texas deck paddle wheel, stern wheel boats. And there she is, there moored to an industrial dock by the River Salvage Company out of Neville Island, Pennsylvania. And the city of Pittsburgh's that way, down the Ohio River here. There's a dam down there. And on the other side of the island, there's not a dam on the other side of the Neville Island. on the Ohio River. So this may possibly be her grave, her watery grave. They'll probably dig her out with some sort of cranes or something, and probably salvage her for parts, is what the owner says is probably going to be done with her. Even though she is an historic boat, the last of the Texas deck stern wheel, they'll probably salvage her for parts. I don't know if she's salvageable in the condition that she's in. Looks like the top deck is bent, there's some bowing. This isn't the first time she's sunk, though. She sank in 1984, and they pulled her up and were able to fix her and make her float again. She doesn't have the engines in it. When they brought it here, they brought her on barge, pulled her along. But this is probably the end of the line for the Mississippi 3. The old steamer, the Becky Thatcher Showboat. They had plays they used to have performed on the, I believe it's the first floor, and then the restaurant was on the top floor there. Or I think the performances were on the second floor and the restaurant was on the top. I can't remember. But it looks like Neville Island, PA, is the end of the line for the Becky. Unfortunately, unless there's some sort of miracle they can pull her out and fix her up, make her float again. It probably costs more money than what the guy paid for, and he was trying to shop for a buyer in Pittsburgh somewhere, you know, Pittsburgh just being about 10 or 12 miles up that way. He wanted to try to sell her to somebody in Pittsburgh to make her into a restaurant or something again, and unfortunately, she is taken on water. And this might be her final days.